and thank you so much for coming to check out my Line Pilates and Movement 30-minute total body workout. This is going to be a completely mat-based workout. You're not going to need any equipment, and the class is going to be a beginner to intermediate level as far as the movements go. So we are going to go ahead and dive right in, grab a water bottle if you need it, but we are going to start lying flat on your back and just beginning with a little bit of breath. So make sure your feet are planted heavy on the floor. Feel your tailbone connect to the ground. Your shoulders are going to relax down as well. And take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And let's do 2 more. And last one. Now, on your next inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling, and exhale, just press your arms long and low. And repeat, inhale, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale. And we'll do this about 5 more times. As you cycle through this, feel your shoulders stay heavy on the floor. Feel your fingertips reach long and outward. And still focusing on your breath to keep your core nice and engaged. We'll do 1 more. Exhale, press long and low. Inhale, reach back up to the ceiling. And now, press your arms long and low. Peel the head, neck, and shoulders up. Eyes towards your thighs. Inhale, come back down. And repeat. Inhale, down. And every time you peel up off the floor, feel your abs pull in a little bit tighter. Feel your belly button pull in towards your spine. And try to peel up 1 inch higher off the floor. If your neck is getting tired, you can always opt to pop your hands behind your head. We're going to go for 3 more. And last 2. And last one, hold it up there. Breathe into this. On an exhale, pick up your right foot. And let's go ahead and switch. 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 Exhaling with every switch. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Peel up 1 inch higher. We have 4. And 3. Last 2. And last 1. Both feet come to tabletop. And lower down, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. And go ahead, plant your feet back down on the floor. This next movement, we're just gonna do little pelvic tucks. So I want you to pull your abs in nice and tight, feel your ribs connect down to the floor. And you're just gonna squeeze your lower abs, press your lower back down into the floor. And then inhale, come back to neutral. And we exhale, tucking the tailbone under you. And inhale back to neutral. And exhale. And we'll do about 4 more of these, just warming up the lower spine. Trying to keep your upper back as still as possible, so you're not rounding through or arching your back. We'll do 2 more. And last one, squeezing the glutes, lower abs, and then come back to neutral. So, starting from here, we're gonna go into full bridges. So you're gonna squeeze your glutes first, roll your spine up, 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 as high as you can get it, keeping this movement in the glutes and hamstrings, and then roll back down 1 vertebrae at a time, letting every part of your spine connect, then your tailbone touches down. And repeat. Squeeze the glutes, keep the hips nice and even, and then exhale, roll back down again. Feeling your feet ground into the floor as you exhale up. Lengthen out your neck and roll back down. We'll go for about 4 more, building a little bit of heat behind the body. Press your arms down to engage the upper back. Good, and let's go for 3. Ground your heels down. And last 2. Good, lifting those hips up high, pull the core in. Last one, get ready to hold it. Squeeze the glutes up, lift the hips, press the arms down, and now let's go for a little walk. Pick up your right foot, bring it to that tabletop position, lower it back down, and now we go left foot. And exhale every time you switch, keeping your hips uplifted, and being conscious of where you place your feet down. See if you can always hit the same spot. Good, we're gonna go 1 more per side, pull the core in, and last one, bring the feet to parallel, hold it, I have to scooch mine back a bit, and little upward pulses from the glutes. Pull your core in, keep the hips up. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll back down 1 vertebrae at a time. Whew, that's a little booty burner for you. Alrighty, rock the knees around, pull in towards your chest, and now we are going to take a little bit wider position. So same movement, a little bit wider, targets the outer glutes now. So pressing the arm down, pulling the core in and up. We're just going to go for 8. Squeeze the glutes, roll the hips up towards the ceiling. Woo, already feel the outer glutes kick on. And then exhale to roll back down 1 vertebrae at a time. Let your tailbone come down to the floor. Exhale, repeat. Make sure your neck is lengthened and that you're putting your weight into your shoulders and your heels, not into the back of your head or your neck. That's why I say press your arms down into the floor. I think we've got 5 more. Exhale. We might have a bonus rep in there. And roll it down. Careful that your knees aren't collapsing inward and they're not splaying out to the side. We want to make this a very controlled movement. And last 3. Nice work, guys. Stay with it. Last 2. Pull your ribs together on the way down. And last one, get ready to hold it. Press your arms down. We're going straight into little pulses. Pulsing up to the ceiling. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll back down all the way to the floor. Woo. Alrighty, last time, hug your knees into your chest. Give your lower back a little release, your hips a little release. And from this position, we're going to take it straight into tabletop. So nice 90 degrees at the knees and hips. We don't want to tuck too deep in. We don't want to be too far out. Whoop. So go ahead and we're going to go into another round of chest lifts. Take an inhale. On your exhale, peel the head, neck, and shoulders up. Eyes to the thighs. Inhale back down. And we go for 4. And exhale, 3. Last 2. And last one, hold it up there for me. Pull the abs inward, and now we're gonna start switching the legs, bicycles. See if you can pull the abs even tighter in towards your spine. Reach your fingertips long, and breathe. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2. We've got a challenge move coming up here. Both legs long and forward. Breathe it out, hold it. Woo, I've got some shakes going on. Hopefully you do too. We've got 5, 4, take it a little lower. 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. Woo. Pull the knees into the chest, take a breath. Not quite done in this series yet. I want you guys to find external rotation. So your knees are apart, your heels are stuck together. We're breathing here, and all we're gonna do is stay flat on the floor. Pull the ribs in. I want you to send your left leg or excuse me, right leg long and forward. Drag it back in. Either leg, because we're gonna alternate anyway. Drag it back in. And notice that I'm keeping my foot externally rotated. I haven't gone to parallel. Focus on making this movement stabilize from your lower abs, your pelvis. My upper back isn't arching. And my shoulders are still heavy on the floor. We're gonna go for one more per side. And go ahead, bring the heels together. Now both legs long and forward. Drag them back in. Shoot them long and forward. Good, feel your heels actively press together. Get that inner thigh engagement. Not just about the core here, also a lot about the legs, the inner thighs, the hips. See if you can squeeze your glutes at the end of the movement. We've got 3 more. Exhale. Inhale, back to center. Exhale. And we've got 1 more coming up. Hold it out there, challenge move. Click your heels together. Inner thigh zip. If it's too much on the lower back, you can always take it higher, but challenge yourself here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull it in. Whew. Alrighty, I think it's high time we come up to an all fours position. So, a little bit warmer now. We are gonna start with one of my personal favorites, cat-cow. So if you've never done a cat-cow before, it's a very simple movement. You just start with your wrists right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips, and make sure they're not together or too far apart. You always want to be nice and symmetrical. You're going to take an exhale, tuck your tailbone under you, start to round your spine, head comes between the elbows, and then stick your tailbone out behind you, round it up the spine, pull the shoulders down, eyes come forward. And repeat, exhale. And inhale. And every time you work through this, just get a little bit deeper in. Pull the shoulders down, make sure your core is pulling in. And then round through. And we'll go for about 2 more. Make sure your arms stay nice and strong. No bent elbows. And last one. And bring it all the way through. And come to a nice neutral spine. So neutral means your eyes are down on the floor. Hands are right underneath the shoulders, knees are right underneath the hips. Up next, we're just gonna do some single leg extensions. So staying in this strong position, you're gonna shoot your right foot back behind you, and then drag your knee all the way in towards your elbow. And shoot your right foot back behind you. Exhale to drag it all the way back in. And as you work through this, I want you to be conscious of what your hips are doing. Are you starting to shift onto your left leg? Or can you keep your hips super squared? Pull your core in, find lots of stability. And keep your neck long, no turtlenecking here. Let's go for 2 more. I lost count, I'm hoping that was 8. And last one, not quite done here. Extend that long leg back, hold it. Start to pulse up towards the ceiling. Keep your hips level, stay strong in your core. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull that knee down. Go ahead and take a quick child's pose. Whew. Breathe into this for a second. And let's go ahead and send it back long and forward. So, same exact thing, just on the other side. Nice strong setup, pull the core in, shoulders down away from the ears. And we're gonna start by sending the left leg long and backwards, and then dragging that knee all the way into your elbow. And then send it backwards, and drag the knee in. And again, careful not to shift too deeply into your standing leg, your right leg. Try to keep the core super engaged as you work through this. Pull your neck long, shoulders pull down away from the ears. We're gonna go for 3 more. And last 2. And last 1. Hold that leg long and backward. Start those straight leg pulses up to the ceiling. Keep your core pulled in tight. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower back down. Find child's pose. Woo! Alrighty, take a quick breath. Shimmy out the wrists if you need to. Whew, lovely. Alrighty, we're coming back to that all fours position. Last few things, I know we're getting a little wrist heavy here, so this will be the last couple things we do. So you've got a couple options for this next set. We're gonna do some push-ups, bringing the arms about as wide as your mat. It's maybe just a touch wider than your shoulders. Option number 1 is to stay in this nice neutral position, pull your core in, and you're just gonna lower your chest down in between your arms, and then press back up. And then lower the chest down and press back up. Option number 2 is to do an alternating leg extension with that. So you would ground your left leg down, right leg shoots back, and then pull it under. And then you switch, left leg shoots back, and pull it under. So whichever one you decide to choose, let's do about 8 to 10. Set up nice and strong, arms just a little bit wider than shoulders, pull the core in. Let's rock and roll. Shooting that leg back, and pull up. And as you lengthen that leg, careful not to arch into your lower back. We're not making this a lower back movement. We're really working into the glute, the hamstring, chest, and shoulders. You inhale to lower down, exhale to drive up. Let's go for about 2 more per side. Last ones per side. And last one. Push up for me. Sit your hips back to your heels and go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders out. Woo, getting a little warm in here, yeah? All right, so for this next segment, I'm gonna change my angle a little bit so you guys can better see. But we're literally just gonna go into a floating arm series. So we're not using any weights today, but that doesn't mean this should be easy. All you're gonna do is sit up nice and tall, pull your core in and up, roll your shoulder blades down your back, and on your exhale, you're gonna press your palms back with straight arms, feel your shoulder blades squeeze together, and then draw them back forward in line with your hips. And press back, inhale forward, exhale back, inhale forward. And all the while you're pulling your core in and up, making sure that you're staying strong in your spine, in your shoulders. Should be feeling this maybe in the triceps a little bit, but definitely those upper back muscles. 3, and 2, and last 1, and pull them all the way up and forward. Open your arms out wide to the side, trace your fingertips long and low, and repeat. And again, I want you to create that sensation of moving through 100 pounds of air. We're not just flapping. No, we're really working to move the air, creating resistance with your own body. Let's go for 2 more this direction. I'm starting to feel this in my shoulders. And last one, bring it all the way down to the hips. Now, other direction, break out wide to the side, circle forward, down we go. Out to the side, forward, down we go. Let's go for another 5 more. Pulling your core in and up. We're still not relaxed through the spine. We're not hanging out. We're trying to lengthen up to the ceiling for these last 2. And last one. Flip the palms for me. Face the palms forward. Drag them up to shoulder height. Drag them back down to your hips. Drag them diagonally outward. Back down to your hips. Drag them straight out to the side. Down we go. And back to that diagonal. And then back forward. Moving 100 pounds of air that you're pressing up to the ceiling. What's that Greek mythology? Atlas, I think, is the one who has the weight of the world on his shoulders. Right now, you're pressing the weight of the world up into the ceiling. We're gonna go for one more round of this, one more out and in, so let's get ready. Pressing up, and open to diagonal. Pull your core in and up, don't forget about your core. Last diagonal, last one forward. Woo! Roll the shoulders out a little bit. Nice work, all. Alrighty, let's go ahead and come to some side lying work. Speaking of shoulders, we're not quite done with them yet. I'm gonna have you guys stack your knees and ankles right on top of each other. Make sure your elbow is resting right underneath your shoulder, and all you're gonna do is exhale and lift yourself up into a side plank. If this becomes too much on the hips, you can always option to stagger your feet, top foot forward, or if that's still too much, you can always take the bottom knee down. But I'm gonna work from this position here. And you're stabilizing through your shoulder, lifting up, careful not sinking down. We're just gonna do little upward pulses. Make sure you're pulling your abs in, you're not shifting your hips forward or back, and staying long through the heels, all the way through the top of the head. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach that right arm up. Let's go into a little waist rotation. Getting a little bit of heat building in that left shoulder now, or whichever shoulder you're starting for standing. We're gonna go for 2 more rotations. Rotate deep through the waistline. Last one. Rotate up, pop that arm down. Go ahead and lay on your side. If you want to work a little bit deeper into the shoulder, you can stay up on your elbow. Otherwise, feel free to come down to this side lying position. Pulling your core in so much, you can slide your fingertips underneath your waist. Top arm rests on the floor. Knees and ankles are stacked. On your exhale, lift that entire leg to parallel and lower it down halfway. Lift and lower. Lift, keeping that 90-degree bend at the knee, and focusing on this movement coming from your hip socket. This side glute should be active. We're gonna go up and down.